All right. Think about the states of awareness and the new understanding of consciousness that you got from doing the Siddhi so far. Now is the time to take the notes from 1 to 8. Now is the time, if you want to keep finishing up, I'm going to speak for a while. In Anima, you just pay attention to consciousness as it is. This is why we use it to refine. Because usually in human form we are so gross. Our consciousness as human is so gross. We want to go to the refined and subtle consciousness that is Anima, smallest. Okay. That is the Siddhi I did 8 years. And that's why even when people have lots of blockage, lots of walls, that you can't penetrate them, you can't see in them, my consciousness, even while I'm aware and awakened, when I'm not meditating, not concentrating, my level of refinement of consciousness is more subtle than the particles that makes your building blocks. Okay, so this is why I just look and see. I'm not doing some kind of mystical trance, and I'm just observing, and it reveals itself. Okay? The first thing to do is Anima. It will get you there. Don't do just 5 minutes and jump to the next one. At one point you want to do Anima only, the first Siddhi, for a while. For 1 month you'll try just that. 20 minutes a day. Really to get the experience. And even when you say, oh yes, I get the experience of refined consciousness. When you understand it and you perceive it correctly, it's not, the meditation is not just about seeing it and understanding it. It's about meditating so long that you will get there, that it will taint you and not leave. Because the moment you're out of Siddhi meditation, you go back, and then the gross consciousness will affect you, okay, or will come back. So this is why we do the Siddhi, even if we get the understanding of the concept and we get the revelations of the meditations. We do them because they empower the human with Christ. They get in the human level the experience of self as God. Okay. After Anima, there's Mahima. You'll want to expand. Now that you're aware of the substance, you'll expand. And in the expansion, the natural side effect is the properties. You'll see the 5 elements just snap into place. You'll see stuff. In the expansion, the raw matter that permits the universe to be created will pop up. Okay? So Mahima is the immensity, and the immensity, there's also the raw stuff. Makes sense with the third Siddhi, Garima. Well, it will densify and become heavy, lower in vibration and lower in planes, and manifest in stuff, physical matter, and in events. That's not the power of creation of matter with the mind. It's part of it. It's preparing us to do that. Then we have mantras and processes to learn how to create matter. That's another topic. I only teach very advanced students. Very advanced students. Not 2 seminar long advanced. Years. Okay? But nonetheless, you'll get the point. You'll get it that yes, stuff happens. Your soul will affect your human. God will affect your soul. Everything will just affect whatever is under it. But then you don't want to be jammed in gravity. That's not gravity. That's not being stuck. It's the process of being heavy, of coming here, of grounding this Supreme Consciousness. But Supreme Consciousness keeps its will and its desires. It's wanting to love. So Lagimma, everything is prepared from a desire from within. The atoms move close to each other because they want it, not because there's a chemical reaction from the outside imposing it to it. And of course in chemistry we mastered that and we use this. But nature, even in particles, still obey the original desire to exchange electricity. Kind of like an orgasm, but just exchanging electron in between atoms. Okay, same process, same type of experience. That's lagima, lightness. In lagima, gravity ceases to have power. If you bring this power so intensely in your body, you will eventually start to have less weight. You won't lose fat, that's not what I mean. You will lose the concept of weight and not what makes you heavy. Okay? It's a bummer, you still have to train. Until you can get to stop eating. 10th Siddhi. I'm going to teach you the 10th Siddhi. Okay? It takes a long time, but it works. Like those I taught, how to stop breathing, and you can start to take 15 seconds, 30 seconds, sometimes a minute, 2 minutes without breathing, and your soul will support your need. Okay? Those of you I taught it, that's the kind of thing. Okay? You get to the point where your soul will take over your human needs. Okay? But I still eat. I still very love to eat. Even though I did experience not eating and being fully supported, not sleeping and being fully functional, and even not breathing for 15 minutes and keeping being conscious. I love to eat. So I have to breathe, I have to sleep, I have to wash, I have to play the game. Okay? When when you want to come out of the game, you come out of the game completely. Okay? We'll see that at 10th Siddhi, you'll see how it works. But now you're starting to get the feeling. Consciousness, immense, densifies and moves according to its will, and ego becomes, because of the movement, of the free will of movement, of desire of self-propelling your own entity in life. Your ego is formed out of that. Prapti. You get this. Okay. Prapti is reach. This is how the spirit reaches goals. Prapti. Side effects of which, whatever you set your mind on, you'll keep on. Okay? Bring great determination. From this determination, we start to go back to unity. We go back to the fact that we didn't lose the oneness. Prakamya. Okay? So what we want to reach, everything wants to reach. Prakamya. Okay? It doesn't mean that other humans will adapt to your will. It's not mind control. Okay? It's the fact that do your own thing, and it will just so happen that every human around you will perfectly act so that in this experience everyone gets exactly what they focused on. Okay? And everyone can get a different thing out of a same experience. Okay? So you don't control others, you just contemplate prakamya, a single stream of consciousness through everything. That's the immovable will of Brahma. Okay? That's the gaze of the Father. So because there's a unique consciousness that operates everything, divinity, supreme consciousness, is the Lord of illusion. Ishidva. Ishidva is from perception manifest in the vast world. TVA is the vast world. Okay? Each letter has a meaning. Sanskrit, Hebrew also. So Ishidva is this manifestation in the vast world. Lord is a master of illusion. And then it's logical. There's only one God, and it is the true Lord and King. Vashidva. He goes in the vastness. Okay? And he dominates. Vashidva. The side effect of Vishidva is that sensory perception starts to lose power over you. Because Supreme Consciousness is the Lord of illusion, the illusion stops to affect you. So you use your senses as a human when you want it, but otherwise you're free. Okay? Vashidva, the side effects of which human animals binded to natural laws will obey your will. Okay? Vashidva is the trap of Siddhi meditation. Because when you get it, you impose your will on others by thinking.
You mean like dogs?
Men also.
I'm telling about every single entity that perceives itself as an animal. So a human that needs sex or else it's angry, a human that will beat up someone for food, a human that is afraid to be left alone, an animal. When the genetic code is empowered, whoever without spirituality, I'd say, you just think in the sense of feeling that you impose your will, and they do, and you pay dearly the karma of it. Okay? But it is a necessary step to know how to exist in this state of will without the ego control. I know myself. I know myself as this incarnation of divine will. I still feel the guilt of when I used it. Compassionately understanding, I was doing research and development. How am I, divinity incarnate, and acknowledging that He is divinity incarnate? And I am not to be His will. The will is united, and I care here, not there. Okay? That was part of the trap. But you have to do it. You say, that's bad, that's terrible, that's dangerous. Well, I mean, there's danger in being God, yeah. Because whatever you want, you have it. You know, when they say be careful what you want, when you're at this point, it's not applicable. You're not careful about what you want. You just want tons of stuff, and tons of stuff happens. Until you get to the satisfaction point of, I don't want anything anymore. Then nothing happens. But it's not boring. There is bliss. Okay? Come right here. Kama. K-A-M-A. Means desire. Kamaru tattva. Kama. Ru, are you? Tattva. T-A-T-T-V-A. Kamaru tattva. Tattva is the elements. Rutattva is their interactions. Okay, so the word rutattva means consumption. Kamarutattva is the consumption of all your desires. So, some of your desires will manifest so you can consume them. Others will burn in fire. They will be consumed. Okay. We will do this meditation in a moment. Okay? It's the fact that let go of control and meditate, kamarutattva, consumption of all your desires. What is possible to manifest will. What is impossible to manifest will disappear. You will not be enslaved to a desire unresolved. Okay? Nature will reorganize itself so that you will be in a state of contentment. Okay? If you can let go of control. Right? When you're finished with your notes, go back to prapti. My ego is an adaptation of my soul, and it's wonderful. Prapti. I am born from spirit. Prapti. Prapti. Next step, prakamya, a single consciousness in the universe. Breathe. Prakamya. Prakamya. Breathe. The single consciousness operates the world. Ishidva. The unique supreme consciousness masters the illusion and the world. Ishidva. Ishidva. Supreme consciousness dominates the world and the universe. Vashidva. God is my Lord. There is a single consciousness that rules as king. Vashidva. 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 Feel your arrogance and pride float off. Humbly. Humbly with the single Lord. Vashidva. Vashidva. And all his desires through me are consumed. Kamarutattva. Kamarutattva. Desires manifest or disappear from my list. Kamarutattva. Yearning goes away. I let go. Kamarutattva. It's an act of faith. No control on what will manifest and what will burn off. But I will be satisfied with everything I desire. Kamarutattva. That's the will of God. Kamarutattva. Kamarutattva. God is not something alien to you. It's the substance that made you. It's not a single person, it's flowing truth everywhere and everything. And it takes care of you. It goes into your body and it takes care of you. Anumi matvam. Anumi matvam. Anumi matvam. Anumi matvam. Anumi matvam. Everything is taken care of by God. Anumi matvam means I exist simply as I am. Anumi matvam. I am simply in a state of truth. Anumi matvam. Divinity takes care of everything at every level. Anumi matvam. Let yourself go in God. Anumi Madhva. Feel it filling your body, filling your cells. Anumi Madhva. Filling your heart, filling your mind, your soul. Anumi Madhva. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leads me into green pastures and regenerates my soul. Anumi Madhva. Relax. Empty your mind. Relax. At your rhythm, come back. Anumi Madhva. Being simply as I am in a state of truth, that's about the feeling of Anumi Madhva. Being simply in a state of truth. What's there? Anumi, A-N-U-M-I. Space. Matvam, M-A-T-V-A-M. Okay. Anumi Madhvam is not a siddhi part of the 9 continuous path. Okay, you have the 9, and from there you got like 20 other siddhis that you can practice. But the 10th siddhi, the one that it just comes right afterwards, the one that is suggested, is Anumi Madhvam. And then you have those that will allow you to levitate and then teleport by location. You can do every power you want if you put the time and your mind into it. Just, those who did transmigration of consciousness, go elsewhere in consciousness. Just bring your body with you, that's the same thing. You just refine the nature of your physical manifestation, you'll do it, okay? But I prefer keeping eating, so I also have to brush my teeth, wash, and I don't have bilocation. But I do pretty cool stuff. Without ever proving to it, so you can't trust me yet. So you have to understand the nature of consciousness, Anima Mahima. And now it comes into manifestation, Garima Lagima. So it comes down and it moves on its own, okay? And then you understand ego, Prati Prakamya, okay? The ego is Prati, and then Prakamya is the unified operation. Now everything just swarms around. We humans seem to be individuals, but we behave a bit like ants, where they just move together, and like big banks of fish, or sometimes flocks of birds. Okay, we move in a single stream. That's why it's like this. They didn't lose the oneness. Okay, and then the empowerment, Yishidva Vashidva, the empowerment. Okay, so nature of consciousness, Anima Mahima, how it operates, how it creates, Garima Lagima. Okay, how it comes into nature. How ego is made, prapti, and how it works, prakamya. And then the empowerment of that, Shiva Vashidva, okay? I control illusion and I am the Lord. If you say I am the Lord and you still think of your ego, you don't get it. So there is a single Lord. And then you remember that this is what you are. But if you say I am the Lord, you won't get it. So don't say I'm God, I'm God, I'm God, trying to remember that they're God because we taught them that they were. They don't get it. They just make believe in the ego that they're divine. And that's wishful thinking. That's mind conditioning, okay? You have to deprive yourself from identity. There is divinity. There's only that. So I cannot be a part of it. There's only divinity and bang. Eventually, you just remember you have the feeling, I feel it. That's divine. This thing I refer to me. That's divine. Okay? The empowerment. And then, the logical step after I'm the Lord, without saying I am, just there is a single Lord, is the Lord will do whatever He wants. Kamarutadva. Okay? And if it's not possible for you to enact a desire, it will slowly burn away. Okay? It'll be erased from your list of things you yearn for. Okay? So, free from this state of yearning, God will answer your needs. Anumi Madhva. This concept of single divinity will just come and operate in you. And the more you do it, the more it'll take over the physical needs. And eventually your body will start to heal itself, regenerate, and come back to a state of perfection. Okay? I simply exist as I am there now. Anumi Madhva. It's just that. It just takes in divinity and incarnates it. Okay? So this is why it's also the 10th city, because it has to do with physical manifestation. Okay? Then you have the other one that allows you to perceive from any point you set your mind on. So I want to look at you from behind. I'll just go in the back of the room and observe. Okay? Okay. It was nice to see stuff under people's chair, but otherwise it wasn't useful. And then you have tons of stuff like that. They're so useful. Knowledge of past, present, future. Understanding the mind, the body, and the action of breathing is a single thing. Okay, that's weird, because the body seems to be tangible, the mind seems to be thinking, and breathing seems to be an action. But mind, body, and breathing is a single thing. You have to meditate on it until it comes to you. And I'm not telling you the city, so forget it. I'll tell you eventually the city on how to take your body in other states. They just take your body and disappear from physicality, and you go somewhere. That's the fast stepping of the ninjas. The ninjutsu adepts that learned that, they just make a step, and I did this 2 times myself, but without a controller. I didn't power it, and I was 90 years old, so I didn't keep you know, teenage just destroys tons of stuff. And I saw people do it. They just started to go very fast, like beyond human nature. I don't run like Ben Johnson, but I just, at this moment I did. Okay? And it wasn't an effort, it was just time stopped, and I just re-referenced my experience with time. But I was mostly happy when I saw someone else do it, so I wasn't crazy, because at night, I just made a dream where everything just slowed down. Or if everything was normal, I was just fast. So I was wondering and contemplating this thought, and I saw someone else do it right in front of me. And I went to him and said, did you just notice that you just ran very fast? He said, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just felt like I was not physical anymore. And this guy was also 9. We were in the schoolyard on break time. He said, well, I just did it 2 times wondering, and I wondered if it was real. And I look at you and you did it. Okay? So we are 2 souls who experience this, that we just intertwined together to validate it so that our mind could start contemplating these things. And then I knew, it's like I knew I was going to drop this because it wasn't going to be useful for me. I stopped empowering that. Okay? But the ninjas that want to do the fast step, you make 1 step. Your goal is not to walk up to there, it's to be there. Bam! Okay? And I saw, as an adult, I saw people do that. Ninjutsu in their training. Okay, Kujien will very empower you, and then you just forget the illusion of this. Okay, but there's a city that does that. Okay, so the city are very fun. Then there's creation of matter, resurrection of the dead, changing the form of your body. There was Ramananda, the saint, was meditating, and you know when it's hot in the southern part of India. They just have the little towel. Okay, so he was meditating, and you have these two guys that decide to sit not too close to the saints, not to disturb him, and these two girls that decide, I'm going to go closer, you know, and they start to be affected by the almost naked guy meditating, and he was a saint, so he was very impressive. He was a hero, like, I don't know what little girls like today, singers maybe, singers, heroes, action movie stars, okay, but in India it was the saints. And they start to contemplate this idea of kind of trying to meditate, but karma just happens, you know, desire just happens. Ramananda transforms into a woman. They're looking at it, and he shifts. He's a woman. He's got the breast and everything, and he's old and used and everything. And their desire stopped because they didn't feel like yearning for that, and they just said, okay, this is what we're going to meditate, and now they all meditate. Okay. So we only have a few written accounts of people who saw or experienced this, because usually it's esoteric, you know, it might hurt if you knew about it. So you only have a few writings about it, and people like that. You can argue if maybe it's not real. Okay, maybe it's not. And mostly the fact that when I used to do the supernatural events without taking care of the impact on people's mind, a bunch of people started fearing me, and a bunch of people started admiring me, which are two things I don't want. Okay, I don't want people to fear me or admire me, so I stopped doing the supernatural stuff. But a few people, tada, you saw stuff. I mean, we've been there, done that. People who hang out eventually, because I'm not trying to refrain supernaturality. I just do my life, and then I know that I simply exist in this non-control, and everything I want just happens. And things modulate, and planes change time of flight, and all kinds of stuff. Just adapt so I can do whatever I want. Because I'm free from yearning. So basically I don't want anything. But when I get in the state of, I'd like that, it just happens. Okay? And you want to get there. Okay? You really want to get there. But you get there by stopping to want everything. By accepting asceticism. Not live a poor life, but a life with less stimulation, a life with less self-importance. You like this kind of life? It's cool. So you see stuff happens, right? The first time it happens to us, let's say this guy in Denmark wants to come to a seminar. He has no money to do it, but he has to do it, so we say, okay, we'll just stretch out. His third baby was just born a few weeks before, and he's really stressed out, and he knows, if I don't do this, I won't never do it. I really need. You've been not attending seminars for so long because he couldn't. He said, okay, that's an act of faith. He goes, purchases the tickets, reserves the hotel. He does send and receive on his computer. He's got a new contract. Unexpected. At the moment, he said, now I'm in shit. Send and receive more money than what he needed to compensate. You know? Because he just let go. And just burst in crying, and he also cried when he told me the story once in the seminar. The first time it happens, it's more than pretty cool. It's, there is a God. You know, there is something, you really feel that. And then it happens. But then you get to the point of the experience of enlightenment, and it happens about 5 times per day, so it's not, you just take it for granted without expectations. Okay? you know that's how it works. Okay? So the Siddhi Meditation, after 1 year of daily practice, okay, you might decide to do 1 month each. 1 month this, 1 month after the 9 first, and then you just start to meditate on the 9 one after the other. But there's no recipe, okay? There's no recipe on how long, how much. Just do them, and find a way that you always do a bit more of the previous than the next. So you do a bit more anima, mahima, garima, lagima that you would do prati, pratana, shiva. Okay, and if you have this idea, oh, I'm going to impose my will, you're screwed. Because it will work and you'll pay karma. Yes. Karma means that events will happen that you will be deprived of will. Okay? So you make decisions, nothing works according to what you want. I mean, the Kamara experience is just destroyed because you used the previous step in an ego intention. Okay? Just let flow, let go, have faith, and give in to divinity, and divinity will just take over. Because the first time I spent many hours in state of Buddhahood. Usually I only spend a few hours per month in state of Buddha. This is why I say I'm not a Buddha, I'm on 10th Bhumi. I'm just Mahasattva, great being. I'm evolved, but I'm not a Buddha. I'm not Christ, I know. Why? Because I spend most of my time not in the Buddha state. Or else I would spend more than half my time in the Buddha state. But the first time I spent like 3-4 hours in this supreme consciousness state, it got to me, I remember, I was never human. The thing I was most afraid when I got to 10th Bhumi is that as a human, I would stop existing completely. And when I got to Buddhahood, I said, I never was human. That was the deal. I just remembered when I decided to start the entire incarnation game. That would play it. So I tell this little story because it's inspiring. So I'll say, well, what happens when, will I stop existing? Yeah, I'll be fine, because I still have a soul. I still have a human. But for me, I'm not Mahavajra. Mahavajra is a way to refer to what I am as a soul, as François Lépine is how to refer to me as a human. But that's not what I am, that's what I use. Okay, it's like a power tool. I just take it and plug in the wall, charge it, and then I use it when I need it, and then I have to recharge it. Okay, I go rest, I meditate for the soul, I rest for the body, and do this kind of stuff. Okay, like it's supposed to be in nature, right? What I was most ashamed of is what will happen when I'll go back home and I'll be all emancipated in Buddha state, and I will be taking care of my wife and my children and how they will think about me. Because there's a major difference when I'm human, when I'm Buddha. There's a major fucking difference. There's the guy that really doesn't care, but everything is taken care of. It's not I don't care, it's everything is taken care of. But humans just see, you don't care about us. You're right. Exactly. Divine indifference, okay? But everything is so happy. So you eat every day, you have clothing. But what about the love and the affection? Don't you feel it everywhere? It's very unrefined. So I had this shame of how can I deal that until I got to the state of Buddhahood where it didn't matter, because it was just going to be an experience they're going to go through. And after a while, they'll say, we're so happy. It's just insecurity strikes us, and that's how it works. All right. Another break time. We need another break. Breathe. Complete your notes.